Coach Neil from the Black Dog Brotherhood and Synergy Movement Nutrition Mindset. Now, one of the biggest misconceptions surrounding nutrition is that it has to be a complex process or it has to be a difficult process. One of the reasons we've been able to get such incredible results for our guys inside of the Black Dog Brotherhood isn't because we've done anything exceptional or anything new. It's because everything that we do has been designed for simplicity, because simplicity makes it easier to adhere to, and adherence is where the results come from. A nutritional protocol, a diet, a training routine, it's only as good as the amount of time that you dedicate to it. So it could be the best routine in the world, but if it's over complex and if it's difficult to adhere to, in the long run, nobody's going to adhere to it. So the results simply won't be there. Now, one of the questions that keeps coming up is surrounding counting calories and how do I count calories? What's the most effective way to count calories? How do I simplify counting calories? Let me tell you a little secret. Counting calories is absolute bullshit. Unless you are a professional athlete trying to make weight for something, or a physique athlete who is about to step out on stage at 5% body fat, counting calories is an absolute waste of time, and I'm going to show you why. So for the sake of mathematics, let's say that the average calorie intake of a bloke is 3,000 calories. Obviously, it's going to be different depending on their activity factor, height, weight, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But for the sake of math, let's say 3,000 calories is the amount that a person has worked out that they need to eat to lose X amount of weight each week. Now, here's the problem, okay? With everything that you eat, the Australian guidelines have an allowable limit of 20% in either direction on the label. So when you read a label that says something that has 100 calories, there is an allowable limit plus or minus of 20%, meaning that 100 calories could actually be 120 calories, or it could be fucking 80 calories, okay? There's an allowable limit. And the reason is, if you think of, say, a carton of eggs, every egg in that carton is going to be slightly different. It's going to have a different concentration of egg yolk to egg white. It's going to be slightly larger, slightly smaller. They don't all weigh exactly the same amount. So therefore, everything has an allowable limit either way of 20% to factor in that variation between each individual item within the packet or within the weight factor of the actual item of itself. Now, while this might not sound like too much, think about this for a sec. If you've worked out that you need to eat 3,000 calories a day to lose X amount of kilos, and you've got this 20% allowable, what that means is you have a 600 calorie variation in either direction, okay? Now, again, doesn't sound like too much, but if you add that up over 7 days, what we're talking about is a 4,200 calorie difference on what you've actually weighed, tracked, and measured. So not only have you gone to the heartache of tracking everything, reading every label, weighing everything, measuring everything, you've now got up to a 4,200 calorie a week variation. Now, if you think about this, half a kilo of body fat has 3,350 calories. So while you might think that you're eating your 3,000 calories and you've weighed and measured everything to make sure that your 3,000 calories is in check, you could actually be gaining half a kilo of body fat or more, depending on the variations in the food that you're eating, okay? Now, this is just calories in. This is just tracking the calories that you take in. On top of that, you have a variation for calories out, i.e. your energy expenditure. So when you exercise, you burn calories. When you move, you burn calories. When you breathe, you burn calories. Once again, even the most advanced sort of commercially available calorie tracking devices like your Apple Watches and Fitbits and all that sort of stuff, they too have anywhere from, I believe the best is 13% variation that they've been able to get it down to, anywhere up to, some of the cheaper ones have up to a 40% variation. So once again, you could be tracking your calories out to work out how many calories you're actually expending, because that's then going to tie into how many calories you can eat. But imagine being 40% off in your calorie calculations for what you're actually burning up. So the end result is you could be eating up to 20% more calories than you actually thought, and you could be burning up to 40% calories less than what you actually thought. Okay, this is obviously worst case scenario. So what this means is you could be doing everything right. You could be doing all the right training, tracking and weighing everything, measuring everything, reading all the labels, and still gaining body fat, or still not gaining the muscle that you want, and you're left scratching your head. Why? I know the question you're going to ask now is, how do bodybuilders get around it? How do physique athletes get around it? How do professional sports people get around it? What they do is they spend minimum of a 4-week period tracking everything. And there's no cheating allowed inside of this because they need to get an accurate representation of what the calories they are eating is doing to their body. So over a 4-week period, they'll eat close to the same meals every single day and they'll track the calories. And over that 4 weeks, they will track the average result. So at the end of that 4 weeks, they'll test their body fat at the beginning. They'll test their body fat afterwards. So they can work out their body fat and their lean body mass. And after that, they can average out exactly what that nutritional protocol has done to them over a 4-week period, divide it by 4, and they now know roughly what that sort of food consumption is doing. And then they can tweak it from there. That eliminates the variables because they've tracked it over a 4-week period to work out exactly what it's done. And it's an absolute pain in the ass. On top of that, then, every couple of weeks, their body is going to adapt to the calories that they are eating and the training that they are doing. So this cycle needs to continually be repeated and tested and adjusted to make sure that they're continually adjusting their calories and their training to continue getting their result, whether that's gaining muscle or losing fat. So you can see that is not a sustainable way of life for the average person. So what's the alternative? In the Black Dog Brotherhood, we like to keep things extremely simple. And what we do is we have 3 things that we focus on in order of importance. Okay. So down the very bottom, the most important part is the type of food. Okay. We eat all natural. We try to eliminate all the preservatives, all the chemicals, anything that has a number that is an artificial color, artificial flavor, and we focus on eating lean meats, vegetables, fruits. Essentially, our motto is if it came from the earth or the ocean or it had a soul, it's good to go. All right. That is type. And the reason we do that is because we eat for mental health and well-being above body composition. It just so happens that the diet also has a kick-ass bonus of helping you lose a shitload of body weight, body fat, as well as gaining lean muscle. But we focus on the types of food that we're eating because there's a correlation between that, our gut health, and our mental health. The next thing we focus on is portions. So rather than calories, we have a portion control guide using nothing but your hand to track the size and portions of the food that you are eating. And we've got a whole book, a whole guide on how to actually portion your food quickly and easy. No more weighing, no more measuring, no more fucking tracking anything or anything like that. Okay. So type, portion. And then once we've got all that locked in, we focus on intermittent fasting because there is so much science behind intermittent fasting and it has the added bonus of simplifying the routine. It's so much easier to prepare 2 big meals a day than 6 little meals a day and trying to focus on, always being hungry because you're having this little tiny meal and then you're counting down to your next one to sort of fill that hole. So having 2 large meals a day eliminates a lot of that meal prep and eliminates a lot of the difficulties in trying to get in 6 small meals a day that a lot of bodybuilders like to go down. Okay. And that's it. It simplifies it. It makes it easy to adhere to. It covers eating for mental health. It covers eating for body composition and it covers simplicity. Makes life incredibly easy. Guys, if you want some more information, feel free to shoot me a message or comment below and I can shoot you a copy of our nutritional protocol. Until the next time, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Peace.